Oh, and I almost forgot. We've also got one of the most popular right-wing media personalities in the country parading around like Moscow like some sort of deranged brand ambassador.
How does Russia, a country we're told is a gas station with nuclear weapons, have a subway station that normal people use to get to work and home every single day that's nicer than anything in our country? All right. There we go. So I guess you put in 10 rubles here and you get it back when you put the cart back. So it's free, but there's an incentive to return it and not just bring it to your homeless encampment. The low-carb lifestyle has not swept Russia. Thank heaven, because look at that. And this is Russian wine. It's from Crimea, which not only has the warm water naval base, but also is the source of most of the grapes in this part of Russia for wine.
Yes, that Crimea, which Russia illegally annexed from Ukraine. Apparently, Tucker likes their wine. Here's the thing. Everything I just mentioned happened before Friday, when the world learned that Vladimir Putin's main political rival, Alexei Navalny, had been found dead in a Russian penal colony. And anyone who knows anything about Russia knows that, of course, Vladimir Putin is most likely responsible. Of course, Donald Trump has had absolutely nothing to say about Navalny's death.
Yes, I don't know who actually watched this show. This is former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. She went off on Tucker Carlson and Trump, even accused Trump of killing this person in Russia. When I look at the show like this, it reminded me of something I don't even want to mention. This is Tucker Carlson doing a vlog to compare the two countries to see which is more expensive. What he realized is actually shocking to liberals. They are not happy that Tucker Carlson is like a brand ambassador. She even went further to insult him. When I look at people like this, it bothers me a lot what they are still doing on air.
One of the ways you understand a society is through its infrastructure, the places where people gather, the places where they go to travel. If you've got a lot of people in one place, it tells you a lot about the people. So with that in mind, we're standing in front of the Kievskaya metro station, and there's a train station next to it. Now, the metro station was built by Joseph Stalin 70 years ago. And the question is, how's it doing now, after 70 years? So we went into it to take a look, and what we found shocked us.
It's actually shocking to liberals. They are not happy that Tucker Carlson is like a brand ambassador. We all know Jen Psaki, how she was spewing lies when she was the press secretary. She continued during this show to do just the same thing. Reason people are not interested to watch the show. It is insane. Tucker Carlson actually showed the war things we didn't know. Like, seriously.
But if you ask the Ukrainians, they are asking us for ammunition now, artillery now. From the Danish side, we decided to donate our entire artillery. And I'm sorry to say, friends, there are still ammunition in stock in Europe. This is not only a question about production, because we have weapons, we have ammunitions, we have air defense that we don't have to use ourselves at the moment, that we should deliver to Ukraine. So, that's...
Like, seriously, if you could ask me a question about Russia, I could not say anything. I thought the way the mainstream media, painted things like people are suffering in this place, things are expensive, but they are living their normal life, and the price of things is even way below compared to different countries, not facing sanctions.
And it's interesting that so many people accuse Trump or me or others of being in Putin's pocket, and yet the person that Donald Trump says or the person that Vladimir Putin says he wants to be the next president is not Donald Trump. He says Joe Biden is his preferred candidate because he's more predictable. Now, on the question of European security, I think there's a fundamental issue here that Europe really has to wake up to. And I offer this in the spirit of friendship, not in the spirit of criticism, because no, I don't think that we should pull out of NATO. And no, I don't think that we should abandon Europe. But yes, I think that we should pivot. The United States has to focus more on East Asia. That is going to be the future of American foreign policy for the next 40 years. And Europe has to wake up to that fact. Now, let me just throw a couple of facts out there. Number one, the problem in Ukraine, from the perspective of the United States of America, and I represent, I believe, the majority of American public opinion, even though I don't represent the majority of opinion of senators who come to Munich, is that there's no clear endpoint. And fundamentally, the limiting factors for American support of Ukraine, it's not money, it's munitions. America, and this is true, by the way, of Europe too, we don't make enough munitions to support a war in Eastern Europe, a war in the Middle East, and potentially contingency in East Asia. So the United States is fundamentally limited. Now, let me just throw very, very specific details, okay? The PAC-3, which is a Patriot interceptor, Ukraine uses in a month what the United States makes in a year, okay? The Patriot missile system is on a 5-year back order, 155 millimeter artillery shells on more than a 5-year back order. We're talking in the United States about ramping up our production of artillery to 100,000 a month by the end of 2025. The Russians make close to 500,000 a month right now at this very minute. So the problem here vis-a-vis Ukraine is America doesn't make enough weapons, Europe doesn't make enough weapons, and that reality is far more important than American political will or how much money we print and then send to Europe. And the final point that I'll make just to respond here, because I know people have heard what, Trump said, and they've criticized it and they've said, well, Trump is going to abandon Europe. I don't think that's true at all. I think Trump is actually issuing a wake-up call to say that Europe has to take a bigger role in its own security.
When I saw this clip, it's important we take an exclusive look, though I don't like to react on videos coming from Mnsbc because of the way they put out a program. But it is necessary. Sometimes we should look deep into why are they so obsessed with Tucker Carlson and Trump? Because if they don't mention this name, nobody will click. That's one of the reasons they continue to do this on a daily basis. I'm saying it, you are saying it. It is good, we call it out the way it is. Libras don't just want to see Trump, being happy on a single day. Yesterday, Trump responded to the death of these activists in Russian prison. The mainstream media went off, like even Nancy Pelosi, she went off on Trump. What is going on? Trump made it clear that the death of this person just made him to realize what is happening in his own country. Trump is not too focused in outside things. Trump is focused on how to improve lives, how to do this in the United States. Reason they are panic on daily basis. If Trump is re-elected, he will remove these from NATO. That is their fears.
This summit is very important because governments have now a great role to play in the transformation of economies.
Or anyone would describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy. And elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay.
And divided by class.
My spirit name is Ozawa Makwa. To my work.
And coming as a white man, last week or so, right? Yeah. That old world vision is rearing its head again that says the people cannot be trusted to self-govern. They'll ruin themselves, right?
No, you want people to get rid of cows? Are you sure?
I think this is Donald Trump's fault.
Wait. Watch this.
Water there? I hate my job.